Yo, it's Harlem on the rise, yo, we love to get the money. This a podcast, you can catch us being funny. Yeah, from 7 to 9, we litty and live. So stop everything, this is serious vibe. Catch us on a Wednesday, it's litty on a hump day. Listen in your car, got the Beamer or the Hyundai. Facebook Live, we live on the rec. You can.
Welcome back to the Beat 139. I'm Doc.
I'm Don Vito. How you feeling? What's up?
Welcome, everybody. I'm Callie.
All right, so we got our second guest for the evening. She's an author, social worker, and a juvenile detention counselor. You do a lot of amazing things out there.
I try.
For real. Jamila Spencer, how you doing, young lady?
Hey, guys. I'm great.
Good to have you at the show, B139.
Thanks for having me.
So we got something to read about you right quick, like I always do. So Jamila Spencer, born in Harlem, New York. Harlem is in the building tonight. I like that. Raised between Harlem 132nd and Idawal projects. She's an author of Turning the Pages and a Woman's Institution. Intuition, excuse me. Mother of two, social worker and juvenile detention counselor. Okay, and I see you got a lot of interesting things going on with you. So you are author of 2 books.
Yes.
Okay. What's the name of the 2 books?
The first book is called Turning the Pages, and my newest book is A Woman's Intuition.
So what is tell everybody how you got started. What inspired you to start writing? Let's go there first.
It started all when I was 9 years old. Like, I used to have problems reading, and my mom would just make me like spell words and write all day until I got it right.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up, you know, I went through a lot. So the different experiences that I went through, I would just take a piece of paper or a notebook and just write down different things.
Right. Okay. So that's how it started. So what age did you start doing that?
9.
At 9. Okay. So when you've been messing with it for a while.
For a long
and
time.
You never stopped, and now you have 2 books.
2 books.
That's great.
So your first book, what year that came out?
It came out in 2010. I bought it out.
I read your first book. I'm gonna let you tell. That's your story. That book was crazy, and your experiencing. Do you mind sharing it with people?
I went through so much.
She went through, yes.
I went through a lot. There were times I would watch my mom get high. You know, there was times when my little brothers and I, we went to bed hungry. My older brothers, you know, they was selling drugs, you know, and my mom depended on my brothers for that. I have a little sister who was murdered at 9. My little brother was murdered at 2. And one of my brothers who, right before me, he was murdered at 21. So I've gone through a lot. And, you know, a lot of people say you don't know how to love because you weren't taught how to love, but I always knew my mom loved me.
Mm-hmm.
But it was more survival for me.
Right.
You know, that's how I get through life.
Yeah.
So are the books more about your personal experience?
The first book, the first book, which is Turning the Pages, was the different experiences that I went through from a child to a teenager to an adult. You know, depending on men to take care of me, giving me things, taking it back, throwing things up in my face. So now I don't want nothing from nobody.
So could you go into, like, to me, like, that's why I'm like got my head down, because I read the book and it's crazy. Like, you know, it's like a real deep story. I see how everybody, like, you know, you already done shook the building up already. So, you know, for me, you know, I read it. So can you like go into this way? And also the audience. We got like a nice audience where they, you know, sometimes stories bring, you know, it brings some money in your pocket.
Yeah, it does.
So
some nice money.
Yeah, so you could tell us some good people watching.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know, when I was born with 11 toes. I don't have 11 toes now, but that was something that I dealt with all the way until I was 22 years old. So, you know, every time I would ask my mom, like, why you did this to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, why me? Why didn't you get it cut off? And, you know, her thing was, you were born that way because you're special. And I really didn't understand that until now. You know, I really, really did not understand that, because Jamila means beautiful. And then my middle name, which is Ibun, I thought I would never tell nobody that, but looking up the meaning of it, it means gift. So, you know, I'm assuming that my mom knew from day one that there was something special about me. and the different experiences that I went through was worth going through, because if I didn't go through none of those things, I wouldn't know how to survive.
Right. Makes
So,
you who you are today,
it made me who I am today. It made me, want to go into the field of social work to be able to try to save these children. But when I go to work every day, I can't save all of these kids because it's life. If there's no child welfare, there's no jobs. If people aren't out here abusing the kids, I won't have no job. But growing up and going through that and watching my mom struggle and make ends meet with little of nothing just shows me that I could get through anything. One of my brothers, he was in prison for 26 years, and he just came home. It'll be 2 years. He's been home, and he's doing good. But it took for him to come home for me to feel safe. I feel, out of all my brothers, my mom, it was 12 of us. So out of all my brothers, he's the one that I feel the safest with.
So let me ask you a question. We won't get back to the books, but you grew up, it's kind of rough, ups and downs type of childhood, whatever the case may be. But my thing is that juvenile detention counselor, right? That means you have some type of educational background as far as social work and all that type of stuff. What made you want to choose that path for employment?
Life experiences, because you see so much in these kids that you see in yourself. And that's even with the families that I work with. A lot of times we get these cases and, you read the referrals. A lot of times you can't believe everything that's written down on a piece of paper. So when you go into these homes, you have to meet these people where they are. And you have to understand that sometimes this is all they know. Their home may not be clean to my expectations, but if that's all they know, I can't judge them for that. Right. So
you felt a need to, or inspired to help people as far as your upbringing coming up. You just want to make a difference out there and try to help people.
That's it.
That's what I'm getting.
When my sister was murdered, she was 9. That took a toll on me, and I think about it every day. And my oldest sister is the one who was responsible for her death. And it's been 26 years that my sister's been in prison. 21 years. 21 years she's been incarcerated. She was in Bedford, and now she's in a medium at Takana Correctional Facility.
And what advice do you give the families that you work with?
Take care of your kids. Don't have different people around your kids. Take care of yourself. If you don't take care of you, you're no good for nobody else. Always remember, your kids come first. Like with mine, I don't play with mine. My daughter, I'm very overprotective of my daughter because I know what I went through. I know all it takes is for a second for your daughter's life to be changed forever. So when it comes to men, I'm very, very funny with that.
Right.
My son, he's like, "Oh my, you're paranoid." It's not about me being paranoid. I know what it takes.
Better safe than sorry,
you
right?
have to be, especially with girls.
You got that right.
And now with boys too.
Right.
So between your job and I'm gonna call it your career, as far as your writing books and stuff like that, it keeps you leaning.
I'm not gonna cry.
Hey, but hold up for a minute. How do you find time to do it all? Is what I'm saying, because I know writing books, you can't just write books.
I don't have a choice. Well, when you love what you do, you make time. That's like when you're interested in someone and you like that guy or you like that girl, if you want to spend that time, you're gonna spend it, you're gonna get that time. So this is what's important to me, because I think about my kids and everything that I do. I'm the only one that's able to put food on the table for my kids.
So can I ask you something? You said about your sister, she's responsible for, she's been in 21 years. How your relationship with your sister that's incarcerated?
Well, we have a good relationship now, because when it initially happened, I was so upset. But I know my sister was in a domestic violence relationship for years with her partner. And my sister physically didn't do anything, but she didn't say anything when the situation was going on. And the day that it happened, November 8th, 1997, I was supposed to pick my little sister up that day that she was murdered. And my older sister, we didn't have this good relationship because the person she was with, for some reason, I was always more advanced and I would see things that other people couldn't see. And when my brother was killed in August of 97, my little sister wasn't at the funeral.
Oh, so both of this happened in 97?
Yes. Dang. So when my brother was killed in August of 97, I kept saying, "Nah, this ain't right. This ain't right. Like, why she's not here?" And everybody's like, just chill. And I'm like, okay, we're going to be
381. 381. 381 is a fashion brand inspired by 3 words, 8 letters, and 1 meaning that simply says, I love you. 381 spreading love worldwide while wearing my heart on my sleeve. You'll love t-shirts, hoodies, caps, shades, and accessories. 381 on Instagram and Facebook at 381 worldwide. Hashtag love by the numbers and wear my heart on my sleeve, or browse 381worldwide.com. 381, 3 words, 8 letters, but 1 meaning that says, I love you.
Back here again, and months later, we was right back in the same church doing a whole nother funeral.
Wow.
So the day, November 8th, 1997, when I went to the home, everybody would say, you got to get to your sister's house. So when I went there, you know, it was a crime scene. So they rushed me off to the 47th precinct in Edenward Projects. And I never seen my sister at the time in the precinct. I seen him, and he blamed my sister for it. He was like, oh, it wasn't me, it was her. So for years, here it is, my sister's going to trial for this case, sitting beside him, and he's telling on her the whole time.
Well, like, so he manipulated her pretty much throughout the whole relationship.
So, you know, when the situation first happened, I went to Rikers, I went to see her, and, you know, it was just an emotional thing. Like, we couldn't really talk because all you could really do is cry at that time. So when I tried to go see her again, she refused my visit, the nerve. But years later, I went to Bedford to go see her, and we spoke. And I was able to tell her, like, he blamed you the whole time. And when I told her that, that was like an eye-opener for her. She started doing her homework. So she went from being in a max to now a medium.
Right.
So she's doing some homework. And I just pray, you know, she's able to come home and begin to have a life.
Right.
Okay.
So you said November 8th?
Yeah,
It's
November
crazy
8th,
'cause
1997.
My sister died November 8th, just passed. So it's crazy.
Can I see that book,
Wow.
Jamila?
So how your mom felt about all this?
Well, my mom is deceased. My mom passed away when I was 14. So when my mom passed away at 14, you know, that was just crazy. Like, everything just like really fell apart. My mom had an apartment in Edenward. My grandmother was from 132nd Street. So when my mom was using the drugs, you know, we were staying at my grandmother's house. And when my grandmother died, my mom just fell apart. You know, the drugs started just getting out of control. And then one day, my mom was dead. Yeah. So my mom passed away in 91.
Was it from a drug overdose or
A drug overdose.
God bless.
Yes.
So
your brothers, how they took it?
Well, that was hard because, like I said, you know, my brother, he was incarcerated at the time. So to keep coming from jail to funerals, that was a lot.
Because he just went through in August.
and you know what though, when you locked up and you got to come home to the funeral, it hurts because you like, damn, I'm in here and I can't be there for nobody. You know, I'm just, people keep taking me out on funerals. I heard a dude in jail too. You know what I'm saying?
Especially when it's
Definitely does.
over and over and over.
Yeah,
First,
you know.
first it was your mom, then your brother, then your little sister. It's like,
Yeah, that's
yo,
hard.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You
That's a
know?
lot.
Then you said something about a 2-year-old.
my little brother, he was 2 at the time. He was 2 years old, and he was staying with my mom's friend out in Queens. And the lady, her name was Queenie, she told her son to give him a bath. And he boiled hot water on the stove. Huh? Yes. My little brother, his body burned up. 2 years old.
And it, okay, we got a caller.
Oh,
we
we
got
have
a
a
caller
caller.
right now. Let's see what we got.
Caller, you here with Jamila Spencer?
What's your name,
Hello?
caller? What's your name?
I can't hear you.
What's your name?
Nona.
All right. You want to speak to Jamila Spencer?
Yeah, I have a question for Jamila.
Okay.
Yes, I just want to know what advice would she give for people? She's had a lot of trauma in her life. What advice would she give to people whose childhood traumas affect them as an adult?
What advice would you give, Jamila?
but I couldn't really hear the question.
The
Can
last,
you repeat that?
she said something with adult.
I said, my question for Jamila is, she's a person who has experienced childhood traumas, and what advice does she give to adults who are trying to deal with their childhood traumas so that they can live better lives?
What advice would you give?
My advice is that you have to find things that you like. First and foremost, you need counseling. You know, I've gone to counseling from a kid because, like I said, you know, I've seen so much, and even now I go to counseling. I don't speak too much about it, but I go 3 times a week.
Okay.
And when I write, it just takes me into a whole nother place. So you have to find things that you like to do to try to ease your mind,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just be like, you know, that used to be me. That was me.
Right.
So that's how I get by.
Let me ask you something.
Hey, caller, thanks for calling in. Thank you very much.
When you by going through all this, have you ever questioned God?
Yeah, of course. Hmm.
Like why? Like
But I believe that this was God's plan for me.
no, I'm saying at the time, not
Yeah,
now.
I mean, yeah, like at that time, you know, I would question, but now I don't question him no more because he's the leader. He's the leader of my direction. And I felt that if I had the silver spoon and I had certain things, I don't think I would be as strong as I am now.
There
You're
you go.
definitely strong.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Definitely.
So Jamila, right? I want to get into this to your books because you know, on top of what you experienced growing up as a young girl, as a young lady, you did some amazing stuff that I see right here, and I want to touch on that. So this book is titled "A Woman's Intuition," right? So how long did it take you to write each book? Is what I want to know.
My first book, Turning the Pages, took me a year to write.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a year to write because I'm sitting here and I'm being honest about me and not caring about what other people's gonna say. Like I spoke about being homeless, my mom being on drugs, you know, having guys take care of me, sleeping with guys to get things that I needed, things. And it wasn't even about what I needed. It was more about what I wanted. But there was a time when I did need food in my stomach. So, you know, I depended on guys to do that for me.
Right.
So, but when it came to me writing this book here, Woman's Intuition, that took me like 6 months to write because I was going to write something else. I was going to write about a previous relationship that I was in. It was a very toxic relationship, but I'm thankful for the experiences that I went through in that relationship because it taught me so much. And this book here was just something that I completely made up.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just based on a lot of experiences that us women go through and what we feel when we're in a relationship or a marriage and our gut is telling us something.
Mm-hmm.
And when your gut is telling you something as a woman, you got to believe it.
Right.
No matter, as much as you might want to fight it and you be like, no, no, no. Or you're telling your girlfriends like, well, this is what I'm feeling. And your girlfriends is like, nah, like, don't believe that. But that's your feeling. And that feeling is coming to you for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how this story came about.
So can you touch on what?
And with you writing this book, what are you trying to achieve from it? Like from your audience, pretty much.
I just want women to know that when you feel something, believe it. And that was pretty much the story about the girl Keisha, who is the main character in the book. Keisha is a young lady, has a husband, 2 children, you know, in the eyes of her friends, she has everything, but she doesn't have it all because she's sharing her husband.
Right.
And the whole time she's sharing her husband, she finds out early on that her husband got somebody pregnant out of town. And when you think about it, how many people went through that? Or how many friends do
Right,
we
a lot of
know
people can relate? Absolutely.
can relate to that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the story is about.
So I'm gonna really my questions are a little different because I'm more direct into your truth.
Mm-hmm.
For the youngins, the young ladies out there listening, can you go more in depth about the situation? What you said about the guys, you dating guys, you had the for money to eat and things like that. Because you know this platform also is about educating.
Yes.
And educating the youth is very important. So can you go more into details about, you know, your situation with men growing up?
Well, like I said, I didn't have a mother around. You know, I didn't have the older females to teach me right from wrong. You know, I felt that the things that, you know, the older girls were doing were the right things to do in order to get things that I needed. But you don't have to go that way. You know, you don't have to put yourself in positions to get the material things, because these material things don't mean nothing. I'm thankful
You
that
got that right.
I'm thankful that I'm not dead. I'm not in jail. I don't have, you know, HIV. I'm lucky not to have these things. And these are things that's possible, because these females out here, they feel just because a dude got a couple of dollars that that's the way. It's not the way, because it becomes control. They begin to control you. So the best thing for young girls to do is go to school, get your money, get a.
Wow, welcome to this monster drink is crazy. What you, yo, Callie, explain to them how it was when I walked in here before I had this monster.
Doc, you was real dry until you had this Monster Energy drink right here. I'm telling you, like, this is a picker-upper.
I said I drank this monster drink. Y'all got to get with the program, champ.
Job and make it happen for yourself. Don't depend on no man to do nothing for you. Don't fall into the trap.
Facts.
Don't. And another thing, females got to stop hopping in these cars. These girls, they get in these cars, they don't know what these guys be having stashed up in their car. Next thing you know, you sitting in jail taking a rap, you know, for homeboy, because homeboy done threw the whole thing on you.
Right.
So you gotta be you gotta be very, very careful out here. And I'm not gonna let my daughter go through none of what I went through.
Mm-hmm. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what though? You know what? You know what? You know what I like about you is the fact that you went through all that and you made something of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have females that's going through that and they still going through that.
Yeah,
You
because
know
that's
what
what
I'm
they.
saying?
Yeah, they.
And
That's
like
what
you said, you didn't have no support system.
Right.
You had God.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got tired, so you motivated yourself
For change.
and for change, and you
Mhm.
changed.
Mhm.
You know, and that's beautiful. You know,
Yeah.
but you got some females who just going through that and they still going through because you know that just
They don't want to change.
you know they don't want to change.
But
They
now-
say no different.
They don't
But
wanna
but you
change.
know, it's not
know?
even about some people not changing. When you have someone who's constantly bailing you out of situations, you depend on that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have that mother that's gonna bail you out of a situation, you're gonna keep doing what you're gonna keep doing. If you have that mother that's gonna watch your kids while you out there running the streets, then you're gonna keep doing. But when you have to hit rock bottom, when you hit rock bottom, that's when you realize I have no choice but to change.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna let my kids go through what I went through. I'm not gonna let my kids go in no system. I'm not letting my kids, there's no options in my house when it comes to them having what they want. They got a house full of snacks, a house full of food. I keep that. But there was a time when I depended on food stamps to take care of me and mine. And I'm thankful that I'm no longer in that position to need that to put food on the table. I'm thankful that I could get up every day and go to work and make good money and take care of my kids. And when you have children, your children love to see their mother going to work.
Mm-hmm.
They respect that. Your friends be like, "Oh, well, my mom at work." They love that. And you know, and I hear my daughter saying it all the time when she's getting out of school. She calls me, and her friend be like, "That's your mom?" "Yeah, that's my mom." "Where's your mom at?" "She's at work." "Yeah, I'm at work."
Right.
And it feels good. That makes me feel good.
Especially you stand on your own feet. Just have your own in general.
Have your own. It's
Have
nothing like
your own.
having your own, because the
You gotta
moment
wait on
that
nobody.
someone has to give you something, it's the second they feel they could control you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want nobody controlling me.
You got that right.
So I want to ask you the same thing I asked Tiny. How I felt with the support with your books.
Man, that support, you be thinking you gonna get that support from these people that you be calling your friends. Listen, you don't get that support. It be people who don't know you who will support you better than that person you call your friend. Seriously. Like, you know how many people I done went out there, I done put myself out there on a line for them to get jobs, and they done made me look like a whole asshole. And these people that I done went out there on a limb for and got them jobs or whatever, or been there for them, I ain't see them at one book signing yet.
Yeah.
But it's all good because you know what? I don't need you because it's going to be a struggle.
Yeah,
I'm
it
going to
is.
make certain sacrifices to make it happen. I might have said when I had to get these books done, I'm not going to pay the cable bill because you know what? I need this couple of dollars to pay for this because I don't want to take away from this because this is in the savings and I need this. And it's not for me. My kids need it. So I'm going to make a sacrifice. Or if I can't go buy me something, then I'm not going to go buy it. But when you want that, you be wanting that support from people you know, but you're not going to get that support from these people that you know. And I don't know why they feel like that because we all trying to make it. And if I make it, we all going to be good.
So do you feel it's just a black thing?
Yeah, it is. Because they be so afraid. When I make it, I'm still going to go shop in my rainbow.
But you know it's crazy. But you know it's crazy. Like our video, every show, we always ask people to share their videos. We don't get no support with that, right? Like far as with our friends. But would you see the stuff they share?
Yeah.
I'm like, but you couldn't share mine. Did you share this?
Because it's you.
Like
because it's you.
That's true.
Like,
because it's you.
That's
It's
true.
bad, man.
Because it's
bad.
you.
That's true.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
fact.
They
Oh,
need to be ashamed of themselves.
right.
That's facts.
You could talk.
It's the barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That nobody wants anyone to get out of.
Exactly.
Nobody want to see you win.
Yeah.
Right. And my
And
thing is,
it's crazy because it could be the same person you gave your last to help them build
Yo,
what they needed to build.
I done seen
You
that.
understand?
Yourself.
Your time, your everything.
And they want to see you win.
right. Or they don't appreciate it, you know, or if you got something cute on, oh, you getting money. Well, where the money at?
Yeah.
Because my overhead is crazy. And I'm the only one, last I recall, I'm the only one paying these bills. My son about to graduate. I'm on my own with that. My son is at a point, my son don't even ask his father for nothing. He don't want nothing from him.
So far as our audience, to the studio audience, anyone have any questions for Jamila? Anyone that want to talk to her, ask her anything?
Are you gonna be writing any more novels?
Yeah, I'm actually halfway through part 2 of A Woman's Intuition. Like I said, the moment every chance I get, I pull that laptop out, I'm in my bed, I'm just typing away because it's like that's like a natural high for me.
Mm.
Other question: How do your children feel about what you have experienced and what you've been through? Do you go to counseling with them?
Well, my son and I, we did family counseling because for a while my son went through it. There were times I had to police him because his behavior was so out of control, and that used to break me. So you know, we did the counseling thing, and we did that for a long time. So now it's just me doing it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I figured that.
Mhm.
Because that's a lot for a child
Mm-hmm.
to take on and still have to go through life knowing that my mother went through
Mhm.
this type of life.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I have my little spasm moments, and my son, you know, he's 18 now, so he be like, "Come on, Ma, you be acting crazy too much." But you know, they just don't, you know, he doesn't understand, and you know, I'm very paranoid. Like, you know, what when my son he's 18, you know, I'm like, "Where you going?" You know,
gotta
if he's
call.
not. My cousin again.
Call her.
What's your name? Call it.
Hey, Nona.
Calling to ask you a question.
What Anthony?
Did you have a woman's intuition moment at some point to help spark this book?
Of course. You know how many times I done caught my ex cheating or exes? Cheating down. Then I had to pray like I was the FBI agent. Cheating down. It was to a point. One time with my ex-husband, I was able to, a girlfriend of mine was working for AT&T, right? And I was like, this nigga cheating. So what ended up happening was I called my girlfriend and I got all his whole call log. And then I got his calls forwarded to the house phone. So what when the girl called,
man.
the girl was calling the phone and the call was coming.
That's a good one right there.
How you get the house log? How you get the house log?
Listen, I had a girl. You gotta have connections. My whole girl worked at AT&T,
Oh,
so I had her forward I got all the
You had
info.
AT&T phone?
He sure did.
Oh,
I had everything forwarded to the house phone. So
Yo.
I was thirsty because
Fellas, don't get AT&T.
Busted.
don't have connections.
Go get Verizon. Verizon don't play that.
Busted.
Oh
So,
man. Okay.
And let me
I
ask you
appreciate
something. Was it
Thanks for
worth
my
it
answer.
doing that?
Yo, thanks for calling, bro. Thanks for
Was it
calling.
worth it?
Hey,
It
Yes,
was.
yes,
I
sir.
was. It was worth it. I felt so satisfied when that happened because I was up, like waiting for the phone to ring. I was like so thirsty, like, and I was pregnant with my daughter at the time, so I was so thirsty. And when you have the phone calls forwarded to the house phone, it rings a certain way. So I was like, oh, she called you,
man.
and I was telling her everything. And then she was like, oh, I didn't know he was married. I didn't know he was about to have no baby. I was like, yeah, well, he been lying to you. And we were separated at the time. So he showed up at my house. He was like cursing me out. Yo, you're crazy. You had all my calls. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't be cheating. But he was like, how cheat? We separated.
Man, listen, you got to get that Boost Mobile and that Metro PCS. They don't have them features, man. The bill ain't number $12. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
But,
you got to get those phones, man. Nah, just playing.
But you know, us women, we just know. We know when
You think men don't know? Hold up now. Let's stop that.
No,
it's a
no,
flip side. Yeah,
no,
we know.
No, let me
Oh,
tell
yeah,
you.
we know.
Let me tell you about.
Doc, tell him we know, Doc.
Well, don't we know, right, Shell?
Come on, man. When God gave brains, He gave us some too, baby. Come on now.
Well, y'all don't
We
know.
know.
How, well, y'all sure don't be using it half the time. Because when y'all get with a new, when y'all get some new, when y'all dealing with that new, y'all get a whole.
What about when you get some new?
We still gonna act the same way.
Oh wow.
It's totally different when men get new.
They're very suspect. Yeah,
very suspect.
Oh, wow. Well, tell us how we act. Tell me how we act.
First of all, y'all whole movement change. Then y'all start getting attitudes.
The phone, everything.
Everything.
What you mean with the phone?
With the phone, it's now it's down. Instead of it being up, now it's down. Before it used to be up. Now it's turned down.
So what about,
okay. Or they act like they don't hear it ringing.
That's somebody. That's nobody. But yet the same call, that's nobody. When you're not in a room answering it, when you're sneaking in there.
So what happened when y'all always like it, and then when we look, you go like this, and we come back.
Yeah, we do that on purpose. Ain't
nothing going on.
Ain't nothing going on. Okay. We just doing that on
No,
purpose.
y'all just be selling on yourself.
So let's get back to the book, right? Let's get back to the book. You know,
he don't want to talk about that no more.
Too many smart ass women
but
in
we
here.
Gonna get back there.
Telling all the men's
All
secrets.
these smart women in here.
Yeah.
You know, my fellas all nervous. They sweating and stuff. You know, sweating and all that.
He done sat down over there.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't laughing no more. Man, he was a little while ago. He like, oh,
I'm good.
I'm just messing with you. But anyway, so where can people find your books though? For real?
Well, I sell them.
Got time to get some money. Where
I'm always in motion. Listen, I be in motion.
You on Amazon and all that?
No, I need all mines. I'm not on nothing right now. I'm in the trunk of my car right now.
So let me tell you something. My
trunk.
girl Cherry Woods was on here a week ago. And you know, Cherry, she wrote True to the Game. She got a movie, Netflix. She got a movie on her life coming out, all that. She's an author too, well-known author. She started selling books out of the trunk of her car in front of the Mark 125.
Yeah.
Right, Tiny? And everybody used to laugh at me, Blue, all us laughing. Ain't nobody buying them damn books. Now she's a millionaire.
Look.
So my story is this. Now she has a children's book that just came out.
Yeah, I seen it.
And we met the other day. She showed me before they, you know, she gave them approval to print it. I'm sure you've been through that.
Yeah.
And she said, I said, so how are you going to get these children's books? Because people don't really know you for that. She said, guess what? I'm going back old school. I'm going to sell them out of my car.
That's right.
That's why I get all the money. That's
all my money.
And
you ain't paying no taxes on it.
All the money. Straight up.
All of it.
I respect that.
Out the trunk. People were like, oh, what can I get your book? Oh, it's right here. Hold on.
Yeah.
So
I'll pull it up.
Yeah.
So you go to like book shows and book signings to promote your book?
I had a book signing December 9th. My sister and I, we did an event together. My sister has this, she has a line out called Lose the Abuser. Her name is Nicole. So her and I, we both did something together. And that was the only book signing that I did so far. I'm not in no rush to do another one because I'm in motion. People be hitting me up. Oh, I need a book. I need a couple of books. I'm coming. I'm coming.
So why your social media private? You're a businesswoman.
Well, I'm getting to that point step by step. You know, you got a lot of people out here that like to play these games. And I went through that with my previous relationship. You know, when me and him was together, we not together no more, but his wife's still checking on my page. We're not even together. Like,
right, so he's still a little
when
private.
you can't find him, He ain't with me. You know, so you have to be cautious because you got a lot of spiteful people out here too. So you got to know how to move. And I'm not moving. I'm going to move on my time because people may be expected for my page to be open, but I can't have my personal page mixed in with my business page. It just doesn't work right.
You got 2 different pages.
Well, I have to create another page.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Like Doc said, when
Definitely.
you're doing business, your page needs to be public.
It needs to be right.
Because we want to make some money or you want people to know that you're out there, you got to make it
Right.
public. So you get your personal page, you know, Instagram, you get 4 pages. Get your personal page and keep it private, and then your other one let it go. Who cares? They look at it because they not know.
Right.
Or just
Absolutely.
upgrade your personal
Right.
You wanna
page
spend
and
some
just
money?
take a couple things out.
You know,
maybe
you wanna
that's
see
what
my
you
next
did.
book?
I got too much
It might
stuff on my
cause some
personal
hate,
page.
but it ain't. You ain't got to worry about.
Yeah,
it.
but I'm definitely gonna create a whole nother page for my books, and you know, one step at a time. I'm in motion. I'm in the trunk of my car. I don't care who see me. I'm pulling up.
Well, let me tell you something, all right? I just met you and all that, but I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I for real, I really felt you. You know, your childhood, your passion, your energy, your drive, your story, your education, and your heart. Like Tiny said, oh, it's about love. You know,
That's right.
you got a lot of love in you.
Yeah, and people
And
take advantage
you're
of
gonna
that.
be a winner.
And people take
And
advantage.
that's beautiful
You're
for
gonna be
everything
one.
that you've
Yeah.
been through.
Yeah.
To love like that, that's amazing.
Because it's genuine. You can't find too many genuine people out here these days.
Yeah.
Our producer wrapping us up. So
Oh.
can you say one more time where they can find you at?
Jamila 1222. That's my Instagram. Jamila Spencer on Facebook. You need books, hit me up. I'm pulling up on you. I'm in motion. If you live too far, I mail them to you. And that's just that.
Can you tell everybody? Go ahead, Doc.
Go ahead now. You go ahead.
Trying to steal my swag, bro. Can you tell everybody what's the hottest podcast show in Harlem?
The beat. 139,
There
baby.
it is. There, right.
Yes.
He said in Harlem, and he said in Harlem, right?
That's right, Harlem. We Harlem. We love everybody, but we Harlem.
All right, so
Yes, we do.
before
That's
we
right.
get off air, please, people, please share.
Support this young lady
support,
too, please. Support Tiny.
support
381. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely share these videos. We need these joints shared. This was great interviews. We had 2 great interviews today, so we need
Two
share.
beautiful interviews.
Beautiful
Two
interviews.
positive, beautiful
Positive
sisters.
come up from Harlem.
Yeah.
You know, so can y'all please share this video?
We want to
Please.
thank our audience for participating
Our
today.
audience.
Thank our audience for helping us out once again. We want to say one more time, happy birthday to Shells.
birthday,
He
Shells.
think he flying all that, got a little outfit.
Yes, okay.
He got a little outfit on, you know, he think he all that. You know?
On Tuesdays, I also do a podcast called Turned Up Tuesdays. So I just started doing that. So I just
Okay.
wanted to shout them out.
Turn it
All
up.
right.
Where do we
I'm saying,
out
when
to
you gonna
Awards.
invite us to the
How do I
show?
find that?
I'm gonna invite everybody.
There it is, there.
I
D139.
just started. So
Yeah, that's all right.
shout out to my hood Eater War and 132.
There it is.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Sharp, it's Don Vito from the B139.
What up, y'all? This is Doc, the B139. Y'all know what it is.
Rocking with the greatest, vibing with your favorites, tuning Wednesday 7 to 9. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Hear the latest scoop, R&B and hip-hop news. So won't you tune in now so we can shout you out? The B139 is. We got the best and most, we rockin' coast to coast, but we're not trying to roast. 139 is lit, go tune in now and streaming live. Go tune in now.
I had severe hammer toes. I was really beginning to suffer for long periods of time with back pain, with foot pain, with toe pain. And so I said, okay, it's finally time to get this taken care of.
I know that Rhea was looking not only for comfort and not only to get rid of her pain, but she also wanted an aesthetic result.
I am, upset with myself that I procrastinated for so long, because if I had just gone in there and done it, I could have done this years ago and it would have been absolutely wonderful.
Typical of most of my patients, they come in about 12 to 14 days after having the procedure done. I take off the bandages, I remove the sutures, I take the x-rays, and then that day I tell them that they can go into a sneaker type shift.
No pain. I have twice as much energy now because my feet and my back allow me to do so much more. Now my toes are straight, and I just look down and I have beautiful toes that don't hurt.